Bryan, one of the things that you talked about last week, that you had this sense of, like, you were searching for something when you were growing up, and you had a feeling that we all have kind of felt. Remember what that feeling was like?
I was a weird kid. I felt very isolated and alone growing up, especially in my earlier years, being homeschooled and not really having an outlet for a lot of that.
What was it like? Did you know God? Did you go to church at all, or did you kind of have, like, was there any of that influence in your life?
Yes, my parents were Christians. I was actually born over here at 180 Church, not at the church, actually, I was born in a hospital. But, like, since I was born, I've been going to that church. Most of the people there knew my name before I even knew it. So I had grown up in the church. I learned all about God. I had read the Bible a couple of times, But in that, I don't know if you guys have experienced it, and it might be why a lot of you guys feel the way you feel about God right now, but there is a difference between knowing that God exists and feeling God and experiencing God. And I think that was the biggest challenge that I had at the time is I had a lot of head knowledge about who God was and what He was and what my parents had told me and all these other things, but I did not have a personal experience. I did not feel God with me a lot. And so as a result, I was like, there's something I'm supposed to be feeling, but I'm not. Where is it? What's going on?
So what was it that helped you, like, make that decision to have a personal relationship with God?
Well, for me, this doesn't happen for everyone this way, but for me, I lightweight had to hit rock bottom. And like everyone's rock bottom looks different. What is bad enough for you to want to seek out something better looks different for different people. But I started looking when, this was a part of my story last week, was when my friend that I grew up with, my first and best friend, had left me to go move in with his other friends in Santa Cruz, even though we had plans to. So I felt that I had found what I was looking for in him and my friends, and then how fleeting it was, how much it just disappeared in an instant, and how that was not something that lasted permanently. And at that point, I was like, everything I've been looking for that I thought that I had is trash. So clearly there's something else out there. There's something else that I need to seek out, to look for, to fill what was here. And that is kind of what started me looking for something deeper and more real that I could not find in people.
Yeah. You said last week, and I wasn't here, but I remember you telling it to me that you put your trust in God and finally felt that alone. Like you felt alone, and then you weren't alone anymore because you knew God was with you. And then you said this verse. So guys, listen to this verse. It's in Psalms, chapter 37. Bryan mentioned this. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him. He will make your righteous reward though shine on you like the dawn. Bryan, what does it mean for you to, like, when you put your trust in God? I know you've had this journey through your whole life, but what does it mean if any of us in this circle want to put our trust in God? Not our phones, not our social media, not other people, not our friend groups. But, I mean, what does it mean to put our trust in God?
So, again, when I experienced what I did, I started seeking after something real. I realized that no matter what earthly thing around me there was, whether it was music, whether it was a job, a career, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it was that is here in this world, like, it is flawed. It is not perfect. And so what it means, what it looks like to me, when I hear the verse, to delight in the Lord, I seek after Him. I seek after the one that is perfect, the one that will not fail. It also says in the Bible that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So that means when Adam and Eve were created, the God that made them is the exact same person, hasn't changed, hasn't adjusted, that I get to interact with now. And when I have kids one day and they're learning about who God is, it's going to be the same person that I knew, that I started interacting with when I was learning about who God was. That, when I seek after, when I try to find out who that person is, when I seek after developing a relationship with that person, that is what it means to me. And when he's talking about giving you the desires of your heart, like I said, from the beginning, I felt alone. The desire I had in my heart was for a relationship, was for the ability to share my life with people. The first verse that I mentioned last week was in Genesis. It was talking about how God said that it's not good for us to be alone. That was one of the first things he ever mentioned, because I believe that we are built for relationships. And as a result, me, someone desiring relationships, was so weird that nobody would want to interact with that person. But I found somebody who wanted to interact with me, somebody who wanted to develop a relationship with me. And even though it wasn't a relationship that I envisioned in my mind, that I saw the people around me having, and I think that was the biggest struggle that I had, is I see all these other people with things that I want, and so I seek after what they have. But what they have is not helping me. What they have is not fulfilling me. So I have to seek out what fulfills me. And I think that's the desire in my heart that actually gets filled when I seek after him, when I let him be my foundation. I let that relationship with him be why I do what I